Hedera Hbar. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at how the drone flights were approved, and this is in connection with Neuron World, and we know that they use the Hedera consensus service. They use our network for the verification of the records and the flight tracking sensors. So we'll be taking a look at that, and I'll be showing you what we can exactly do and how we may be able to get other partnerships stemming from there. I also have a Bombshell update from saucerswap in relation to the tier 1 central exchange listing. So we'll take a look at that, as well as the price action for both Source and Hbar token today. So all I ask from you are two things, which is to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel as well. So we did actually have that video between Hbar Bull and also with Rob just coming out 2 days ago. And I'm not going to be showing you all of the video, but what we're going to be having a look at is this particular question that came in from one of our audiences. So we have over here about Neuron being approved within the UK, and this is to do with Milton Keynes. So actually we had that announcement not so long ago now, just towards the end of February, but they announced the recent contract award from Milton Keynes City Council to extend the Neuron flight tracking sensor network across their city into some drone-in-a-box systems and into their smart city labs. So it's pretty good that they were able to actually get that extension on the contract, which is worth quite a lot, especially when it comes to the councils. But again, if they are able to successfully do this with the trial, then I'm more than sure that they will be able to go to other councils that will also be interested in their technology. So now that we've had that announcement, this comment then goes on to say that we could potentially be having a connection with Amazon, as they do want to go live with their drones. They can't do it without Neuron, can they? Hint, hint. So we will be having a look at this, but I just want to first show you this article from Amazon. So they did actually pledge last year parcels to be delivered in 1 hour. I personally think that that is quite a bit of a stretch. I mean, is that from the time when you actually order for example, your parcel or your transaction, you place it on Amazon and then you receive it within 1 hour. So let's say you placed your order at 2 p.m. Would you receive your parcel at 3 p.m? If so, it is very efficient, but we definitely need some sort of flight tracking sensors in order to be able to actually manage that, and with the verification of the records as well, as there is going to be a much shorter turnaround. So you'll see over here that we have the one location which is yet to be revealed, but at the end of 2024. And also we have that what our customers will do is they will go on the Amazon website, they'll select the drone delivery if it's available in the area, they'll order their product, and then that will set off the chain of events that goes to our ground system that find the customer's yard, drops packages off where they asked it, and then of course they get out of there. So it seems like as if it's very efficient, but I do think that we need some sort of blockchain technology in order to be able to help that. And so of course I think that is when Neuron and Hedera, this network, basically come in. Let's first take a look at this.
Just learned about Neuron being approved in the UK, and then Amazon wants to go live with their drones. That's their wing program. They can't do this without Neuron, can they? Hint, hint, ask Rob.
I've been very vocal in that Neuron is one of my favorite Hedera projects, and always has been. You know, the IoT origin or genesis of Neuron has kind of expanded into a fully blown network layer with decentralized public infrastructure play, SDKs on devices. I mean, it's a supercharged helium, where Hedera is the next generation blockchain. Neuron, I think, is the next generation IoT platform and network, all built on Hedera, of course. So, I mean, some of us think of it as it's, you know, the IoT or the drone-based use cases, which it absolutely still supports. But I think the network play that they've now got in place, and there's some super smart guys on that team, is going to really blow away the whole of the deep in space. So the question was about the UK approval. That was the recent announcement about Milton Keynes City Council adopting a project which includes Neuron to track medical drone deliveries and other kind of forms of flight safety, which was the initial use case. So, I mean, it's great to see a public authority adopting this technology in this project. I think it's a 12-month project, and details are scarce at the moment, but we'll find out more as we go. Knowing James and the team as I do, I think I know that's just the first step, and whether Amazon and its drone deliveries, kind of establish themselves in the UK or not, there is certainly a big market there, which Neuron is very, very well placed for, and beyond the UK globally, because of course this is a global network. So very, very excited to see how Neuron develops, and hoping to use it at some point as well, because I've got lots of IoT use cases and contacts that are seeking to use such a network as that.
Now, as you know, when it comes to the drone deliveries with Amazon, and of course with what Neuron are doing with their flight tracking sensor, does it mean that Amazon will be partnering with Neuron? Well, it is still early days. And does it also mean that Amazon need Neuron? Well, I don't think that they necessarily need them, because Amazon could always be going to a different company, because obviously they have that leverage. However, if Neuron are actually able to get this in place, then I do think that we should be able to see some sort of connection, perhaps in partnership with Amazon, if we are able to do that, because again, Neuron is able to emit these signals every single second, and that is the verification that we are able to get, and only the Hedera network can do that, of course, with the low fees. So when it comes to Amazon's drone deliveries, and they are targeting for that 1 hour delivery, I think that they perhaps might need a company like Neuron, because Neuron are well positioned in order to be able to provide that service. Now, the source Bombshell update that I want to show all of you guys over here, it does talk about the tier 1 centralized exchange listings. They did actually do the application, I think, a couple of weeks ago. Now we do have the conclusion coming in from Peter at saucerswap. So I'm just going to let him talk to give you guys the updates, and you can see where they have currently got to so far. And then also we will be having a look at price action straight after this.
There's been no shift in priority regarding the listings. They are still actively being worked on. We have made progress with the tier 1 centralized exchanges mentioned in the last AMA. Now, there are 2 in particular that are firmly tier 1s that are our top priority. As context from the last AMA, they have told us that they love saucerswap, they love the project, the active community, the on-chain metrics, seeing our rank on DeFi Llama, surpassing QuickSwap, getting up there with Camelot and Trader Joe. Basically, all the project criteria is met. There are a couple of challenges that we are working through. The main challenge is that the Hedera token service is not integrated on many exchanges, period. So we are doing the hard work of pushing to get the Hedera token service integrated on these top exchanges. Now, the great thing about this is that it will pave the way for other HTS tokens to seamlessly list on those exchanges. The downside is it takes a little bit longer, but to the point that HTS needs to be integrated, we have been working with our partners, including the Hbar Foundation and several prominent market makers, to integrate the Hedera token service into these exchanges, namely these tier 1 exchanges. So we are just as hopeful as we were last AMA about these listings. They unfortunately do not operate on our schedule, and all we can do is be persistent and work with them as efficiently as possible. That's exactly what we're doing. Second point we want to make regarding the centralized exchanges is that we have broadened our strategy a bit to additionally consider listing on other exchanges that might not necessarily be tier 1, but will support an overall approach that includes both top and other reputable non-tier 1 exchanges. So let me be clear, this does not mark a shift from listing on tier 1 exchanges that is still the top priority, but rather it broadens our approach to potentially list on more exchanges. We did want to communicate this in case one of the other exchange listings happens first, just so there is no confusion around that. As I mentioned, the timelines with the exchanges is unclear. They operate on their own schedule, so we don't know which exchange would be the first to list among the many that we are interfacing with.
So it seems like as if they are making some progress with this. It's just going to take some time. But the reason as to why this is important when it comes to these applications for the tier 1 exchanges is because we will be on these centralized exchanges, because as of right now we are currently on the decentralized exchange, of course, with saucerswap. So basically, if we are able to go to the centralized exchanges, it means that we will be able to increase the liquidity and of course the accessibility for everyone else, because you're going to be having a much larger pool, and so there's going to be more capital that we will be able to inflow in this. Let's take a look at the price action of Source today. We are currently trading at 0.1827, so we are currently at 18 cents. On the 1-day chart, we are up by a nice 3.76%. If we take a look at the volume, we are down by 36.17%, but we are trading at $3 million. So on the 1-day chart, at 12:45 we were at 0.1867, but if you have a look at where we were over here yesterday, we were at 0.1788. So then if we have a look at the 7-day chart, we are now down by 5%. So we started off the week quite strong at 0.2056, 20 cents, and then we did go to 0.1909 just a few days later. Of course, we have taken this dip over here to 0.1583. That is when we had that massive pullback, and now we've been able to somewhat increase by roughly around about 3 cents. On the 1-month chart, we are still doing pretty strong. We are up by 132.88%. Again, we did go to that high of 23 cents. The next price target for Source is of course 20 cents in the short term, but if we do see that retracement, I am looking for that 15-cent level. Now let's have a look at the price action of Hbar. So today we are currently trading at 0.134. We are up by 1.6% on the 1-day chart. For the 1-week chart, we are up by 18.9%. At the start of the week, we were trading at 0.118, midweek at 0.131, and now at 0.137. I want to see the move up to 15 cents, which is only roughly around about 1.4 cents now from where we currently are. And then if we are able to do that, my next price target for Hbar would be 18 cents. On the 1-month chart, we are up by a nice 71%. So we've basically been able to double. If we do see a bit of a retracement, I'm looking for consolidation at that mid-range of the 10-cent level. Guys, if you want daily Hedera Hbar coin news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.